And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions and making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a lot of great content lined up for you today. UFOs, unidentified flying objects. We're going to talk about that with Captain Will Smith in studio, as well as his friend Thomas Younk, who he introduced me to about 6 or 8 months ago. Cons Helping Cons, talking about that recidivism rate and some of the good work they're doing to help prisoners get back into society, kind of acclimate back into society and become, tax-paying and job-holding citizens, and as well as Doug LEVI, Strategic Insurance, TampaBayInsurance.com. Doug LEVI, our insurance quarterback on the show. We're going to talk about some things happening in that space as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do, I'd love for you to save our hotline number. Give us a call. Had a lot of calls last week, folks reaching out wanting to get pre-approved for a mortgage. They wanted to find out more about their credit improvement. How could they improve their credit? They got a couple of people that reached out to get introduced to some of our attorneys through our platform here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Of course, Attorney Joe Pippin, one of the longest running radio show hosts in the state of Florida. A lot of great attorneys associated with the show. Reach out to the hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text our hotline, 813-750-0550. That is our hotline. ConsumerQB.com is the website. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. Follow our YouTube channel as well. Over 1,200 videos now on our YouTube channel. I mean, that's a lot of content, a lot of great information there. Anything you want to know, you can find a lot of information on our the YouTube channel. ConsumerQB.com is the website. YouTube as well. Lots of great content there as well. And as we always like to do, we feature our real estate listings live on air on the show before we jump into this content with our experts. But I want to talk to you about a couple of hot listings. 1602 East MLK in Tampa. We've got a property here in Tampa, 1602 East MLK. This is a body shop. It's Gill's Body Shop. And it's right at $499,000. Great opportunity. A body shop in Tampa. It's been in operation, in business for 45 years. So he's got a lot of goodwill and going concern with the business. Great opportunity for one of our listings, 1602 East MLK, right here in Tampa, an operating business body shop. See all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by the beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort. Heading down there this weekend. Looking forward to a nice getaway. The Bilmar Beach Resort, 2 pools on site. They've got Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant. And a beautiful beach, of course, at Treasure Island. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump into it. Doug LEVI on the horn here. Doug, how are you, sir?
Brandon, great day in Tampa Bay, man. Loving the weather, doing great.
Absolutely. So on the insurance side, insurance quarterback here on the show, what are you seeing in the insurance space? Any updates, anything changing?
Yeah. So a couple big things just for the listeners out there is we're seeing some dramatic shifts, especially in the home insurance market. So there's really a lot going on in this space. We always encourage the reviews. We'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, I've been in this business 18 years, Brandon, and own Strategic 15. It's one of the most challenging markets I've seen. And so really what you've got in a nutshell is over the last few years, the carriers have really taken in the shorts. They've lost about $2 billion with a B here in Florida. And I know we all like to poke at the insurance companies, me included, but they've taken a lot of losses. A lot of reasons for that. Some of it's legislative issues. Some of it's attorney fees. A lot of it's also the storms, some of the hurricanes. So what you're seeing is the carriers are pushing rates up and they're closing. A lot of carriers are actually closing their, ability for new business and in different areas. So you really got to kind of, understand what's going on in the market. And again, that's why we're here. We love what we do. We want to help people through through the insurance waters and try and make life easier for them. You've got also right now in front of the state legislature, they're talking about, I don't think we mentioned this on the air yet, Brandon. They're talking about putting an actual cash value endorsement on people's roofs, right? So I realize most people's tolerance for insurance is pretty small, so I don't want to put anybody to sleep here, but here's what's really important to know, okay? What that means is a lot of the carriers right now are not insuring homes if your roof is over 15 years old, if it's a shingle roof, okay? Now, you may have a good roof. You may not want to get it replaced, but they say we don't want you. Because they know there's a lot of the older homes or homes that have roofs that are a little bit older have more claims.
Right.
So one of the things that's in front of the state right now is saying, okay, well, we want you carriers to write insurance because it's key to our state, our economy. You can't get a mortgage without it. You know, Brandon, you can't close a home without it traditionally. So they're talking about saying, well, we'll do it, but with actual cash value. Now, why that's important is what that means is they would pay a depreciated value. They may say, hey, your home, your roof's 15 years old. To buy a brand new roof may cost, 10, 15 grand, but your roof's today's condition's worth $4, right? $4,000. So again, nothing's been passed yet. There's pros and cons with that. I'll be honest. I don't love it at all.
Yeah.
I'm always for our clients. At the end of the day, I say I work for this community and our clients, not for the insurance companies. They're just the vehicle we got to go through to get you what you need. But, if you've got such an issue where carriers aren't willing to write, now you've got a capacity issue. It's like a supply and demand issue. So,
right.
There's more coming on that. I think we'll see that kind of shake out in the next month or so. Really practically speaking right now, I'd encourage people to take a look at your premium, take a look at your policy. The person who just renews each year doesn't even look at it, says, oh, it's billed by my bank pays for it. Well, you're ultimately paying for it, to be clear.
Right.
You're ultimately paying for it, right?
That's right.
And get your eyes on that. And then hit us up for a protection review. We offer a $17 Amazon gift card just for the opportunity to review your insurance. We take a look at your home, your auto. We shop it with over 20 carriers, try and find your best rates, best coverage. Heck, the other day we saved a client $800 a year on his home insurance. He switched from another carrier over to us, and we love doing that.
Yeah, that's an important part of the business is, or whether you're running your family's business, which could be just simply managing your household, or you're running a business with multiple entities and employees, et cetera, is every year, you have decisions to make, and you're either going to continue with the same path that you're on, or if you get a review, which costs you nothing. Matter of fact, he's offering a $17 gift card here just for the opportunity to speak with you. You could find potential savings there, and that's a big part of the American dream is making your dollar go further, especially now with so many increases that we're seeing. Gas, of course, is increasing. The cost of groceries, the cost of almost everything is increasing because of what our federal government's done is they're watering down our United States dollar and the Treasury and everything going on there, Doug.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously we talked before the show, Brandon. It's, there's a lot going on, and it's why I think your show is so valuable. Not just saying that because I'm your favorite insurance guy on your show, but you're educating your consumers out there, and heck, it's hard just to keep up with all the changes and everything going on. And most people, when you look at your budget on a monthly basis, depending on what, survey or research you read, insurance is probably, maybe 3 or 4 up there, right? After you kind of have your mortgage and, food and some of that. So it's a big line item. There's no doubt that people are spending. And, our goal is to help make sure you're getting the absolute best bang for your buck. You're getting the best coverage available, and you're paying the least. You're getting the best price you can. And there's a lot of people, we see it all the time. Again, they're just, they're not looking, and they're paying more than they need to be, or they may not understand some of the things that are limited, and we take the time to go over that, and so explain what you've got and what you don't have, and so yeah, that's probably the biggest thing we see right now in this space is the homeowners market. I believe you're going to hear more and more about it over the next several months. We probably are going to see a few more carriers, frankly, go out of business. It's a big deal. Probably going to see some of that. And likely what will happen is some of the bigger carriers will gobble them up.
Yeah,
but
more consolidation.
There you go, more consolidation. But you know what? If you're if you're with a carrier and they go out of business, you need to kind of understand, well, heck, I'm right in the middle of the claim. What does that mean to me? Like, how do those things work? Again, we're here to help with any of that.
Yeah, Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. TampaBayInsurance.com. He offers a $17 review for any of your insurances, home, auto. What other types of insurance as well? I know you do some of the medical as well.
Yeah. We're full service, Brandon, so we do everything from home, auto, boat, flood, umbrella, all the business insurance. We do, disability, life insurance, major medical. I think another one, just hopefully on a more fun note, if we will, thinking about just based on the time of year and the weather is kind of your toys, right? So maybe you have a boat, you have an RV, you have a jet ski, you have an ATV, something like that. The weather's great. You're getting out on the water. Do you have boat insurance, right? You don't have to have it. The state doesn't require you to have it. That being said, it's a good idea to have it. Just think about that. If you're driving around, you're like, oh man, I do have a boat. Who's that with? Do I have that covered? We'd love to help out with things like that. Same thing with RVs, ATVs, motorcycles, just all the fun toys that kind of, people do have, and especially enjoying this nice time of year in spring. We can help with all that. We've got great rates, great options, great companies like Progressive, Liberty Mutual, big names that people know and recognize, but you can still get that service through a local agent.
Very good, very good. More from Doug Levi coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Strategic Insurance as well. Probably talk about your side hustle as well if you're looking at for maybe like a side income. Doug's got a great opportunity. We'll maybe talk about that as well coming up. Also, Captain Will Smith, he's an author and a pilot here. CaptainWillSmith.com. Falling from the Sky is his book. Soon to be movie here in Tampa Bay, as well as Thomas Younk coming up. Cons Helping Cons. Very cool nonprofit here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Feel good story of the day. We got a good one here. A couple adopt 7 siblings whose parents died in a car wreck. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show right here on AM 860 The Answer. Residential listings in Hillsborough County, giving you your market update, latest data here.
I like it. I got that big humbuck.
Oh, okay.
Try it this way, see if...
We're gonna go without the wide angle till you get it set up.
Yeah, get up in a second.
Call or text our hotline 813-750-0550. And for all of our listings, you can see platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And if you'd like more information about our radio and TV show, you can go to consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb. So we'll see you next time.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brand. Today at 813.
.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Looking for sellers right now. Inventory is at an all-time low. If you're thinking about selling a property, we'd love to talk to you. 813-750-0550. You can call or text the hotline. Also, if you want to take Doug up on that review, $17 gift card review for his insurance protection review, reach out to the hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text that line, and we would love to talk to you. A couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. I've got a property. It's a commercial property at 1780 Clearwater Largo Road. This is a great opportunity. It's a corner lot. The price is like $250 for this beautiful commercial opportunity on a corner lot, major thoroughfare in Tampa Bay, 1780 Clearwater Largo Road. Great buying opportunity. $250,000 listing of mine. Commercial property, corner lot in Pinellas County. Doesn't get much better than that. About some vacant land here. We've got some land available as well. 6513 South County Line Road in Plant City. 5 acres. You've got a spring-fed creek with a reserve in the back. Preserve backs up to English Creek Preserve. Great opportunity. See all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And a quick shout out to Chad Irrigation. If you're looking to add irrigation to any of your real estate properties, Chad Irrigation, Victor and his team do a great job. They have all the different systems that you would expect from a high quality company here based in Tampa Bay. Support the local economy right here in Tampa Bay. Chad Irrigation. They can also access lakes and ponds, bodies of water, pull it directly into your sprinkler system, and that way you're not paying the money that you would typically pay for city water. Reach out to Victor and his team with Chad Irrigation. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, let's go to Captain Will Smith in studio. Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for being here. I'm enjoying it. Good to see you again.
Good stuff. So you've got your Falling from the Sky book. You've got some cool stuff happening also with Cons Helping Cons. I know you had a highlight come up about a month ago where you got to speak out of prison. That was pretty cool. Yeah,
I was at Zephyr Hills Prison. I got to talk to the inmates that are becoming eligible for release, helping them get back into the community, working with Thomas, providing work for them, shelter, so they're not set up for failure. And Thomas and I, we have that one goal, is to make sure that they become productive, they have somewhere to go, and they're not left out in the cold.
Yeah, exactly. And your journey was, wow, what an interesting journey. And then you got into aviation, and just, talk a little bit about your aviation career and how you started and where you're at now.
Pre incarceration, I was in aviation. Post incarceration, my aviation career took off. Of course, I started. I had the second book, Ditches to Riches. I started like everyone else coming out of prison. And, people slam the doors in your face, wouldn't give you a chance to background check and find that opportunity and, be productive members of society and get their life back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thomas Younk, you are on the line, I believe, Cons Helping Cons.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon to you. And yeah, the Cons Helping Cons, talk about Will and what you've seen with him and his journey as well.
Well, actually, Will and I were at a meeting this morning for the Pasco reentry program. And we're trying to start a reentry program in Pasco, but there's just, this is a bad time to be doing it. There's no homes available. There's no land available because, you as a real estate agent know, there's nothing available. Everything gets snapped up so quick. So, but the problem up here is there's nowhere for these guys to go. And now, a lot of people now are being stuck in jail. They're not even going to prison. They're serving their time in jail. So they have even less prep because really in a jail, you're more warehoused than you are even in a prison. So we're getting guys coming out of the Pasco County Jail, and they've got nothing. So I was hoping to make a plea through you this morning. If anybody else has got a house available or some land, because Will and I can put container houses on vacant land, anything at all, so we can get these guys and these women out of the elements and get them, that's the first step. You have to have somebody inside a home so that they are able to go to work. So that's where we're at.
Well, we can definitely, talk more about that off air, because that's, our specialty, of course. My wife Lindsay and I owning the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and there is inventory. I mean, there's little inventory, very low, but you have to know how to structure the deal. You have to have certain types of a strategy and different, what we call addendums to the contract that can help you differentiate yourself from all of the other potential buyer prospects. So that's something that's key.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, so let's talk about that and kind of compare notes here and see, what we can do, because, I'm looking at it. I've talked to some developers, and I get lots of calls from builder developers yesterday. Matter of fact, just this past week, I put multiple large parcels of land under contract, talking over $1 million, and one is slightly under $1 million. Both of those contracts coming to a fruition within the last couple of days. So, yeah, the market is hot, but there's strategies to help you win.
All right. Well, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look at that, and then we've got some interesting stuff happening in the world of aviation. I want to play this clip because I'm dying to get the reaction here. I've got a clip here from a Charlie Kirk podcast where he actually has Senator Marco Rubio. And if you've been watching the news at all, you've seen an uptick in UFO stories and sightings lately. So since we have our aviation specialist, Captain Will Smith, here in studio, I wanted to get his take on this clip. We got about a minute clip we're going to play.
UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Cut 59, Senator Rubio on Maria about UFOs. Cut 59.
So, Senator, what about that? What can you tell us about UFOs?
Well, we have things flying over military installations, over military exercises, and other places, and we don't know what it is. It isn't ours. It isn't anything that's registered with the FAA, and in many cases exhibits attributes of things we've never seen, technology, the kinds of technology we haven't seen before, or at least that's what it seems like. I think you have to know what it is, or we have to try to know what it is. That's my view of it, without any preconceived notions. Maybe there's a logical explanation. Maybe it's something that can be explained away. Maybe it's a foreign adversary who's made a technological leap, as you heard the former DNI said.
There are three possible explanations. Number one, aliens. Number two, that our own government has this technology to be able to move quicker and faster than anything we've seen before. Number three, a foreign adversary has.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about that, what's going on in the skies and this technology. So we were talking a little bit before the show about this, obviously, but yeah, so it could be a bunch of different things. What's your take?
Well, UFOs is an acronym, unidentified flying object. And before the show, I was telling you, I can make an object, throw it in the air, say it's unidentified, and watch it fly from one point to the other. That's what a UFO is. Marco Rubio is talking about the FAA doesn't recognize. There's hundreds of planes out there the FAA doesn't recognize. And these are usually experimental planes. When the drones first started coming out, people didn't know what they were, and they were flying around doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And people were like, wow, what is that? Is that a UFO?
Yeah.
I'm the doubting Thomas. I don't believe in that type of stuff. That's Hollywood.
Yep.
I've been flying for over 20 years. I have never seen any little green guys walking out on my wing. I haven't seen any saucers flying around in the air.
Yeah.
But I do know a couple of things about aviation and then higher altitude aerodynamics. We do have, the military has classified aircraft that scuds the atmosphere, upper atmospheres. And I do know that we have aircraft that fly Mach 3 and Mach 2. So this is 15 to 2,000 miles an hour. That's really, really fast.
Yeah, it is.
Now, do other countries have technology? I'm sure they do. But we're the most advanced in our technology, and a lot of things that we don't understand doesn't mean it's not explained. So what do we usually do? We're like, oh, that must be a UFO.
Yeah.
I don't really believe, because the way our atmosphere is designed, most things that enter it burn up.
Yeah, it could be. One of my fears is that it's China or, an adversary, and China's been ripping off our technology for years, infiltrating our schools, infiltrating our institutions. So I think, if anything, it's probably someone like that. So, all right, good stuff. UFOs. You never know what you're going to talk about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, right?
Yeah, little green men.
Yeah, that's right. So stay with us. More from our expert contributors, Doug Levi, Captain Will Smith, Thomas Younk here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page out there as well. Platinum MVP team on Facebook. We'll see you right after this break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, good stuff.
Brandon, everybody is still here. Let me know when you want to proceed, please.
Halfway through, and then if Doug's still on, we'll go ahead. Well, let's go back to Doug. That way we can let him go, get him out of here. And
Four, three, two, one. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty. Hot listing on Clearwater Beach. 1010 Bay Esplanade. This is a gorgeous property on the north side of Clearwater Beach. What you've got here is a property that has a separate rental opportunity, an apartment attached, and a third-story sun deck overlooking the beautiful Gulf waters and intercoastal waters of 1010 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach. Great opportunity for that investor. Getting a lot of calls from up north right now, of course, people looking to buy real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. And a quick shout out to Golf Car Depot, aka Discovery Golf Cars. And it seems like everybody's getting into golf cars these days, and they are show supporters, local economy, local company here, support the local economy. Easy Go, Star EV, they've got the Cushman as well as new and pre-owned, and you can also rent or buy golf cars from Golf Car Depot, aka Discovery Golf Cars. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's go back to Doug Levi. Doug, Strategic Insurance. Now, you've got something really cool. I like this strategy from you, is an opportunity for folks to get involved with the insurance business and your insurancesideHustling.com.
Yeah, 100%. So we started a little over a year and a half ago, insurancesideHustling.com, and really the basic concept is this. We're in an industry that everybody needs, everybody already budgets for, and most people on their own probably already have their own home and auto policy that they insure. And so we have a model where we show people how to get into the business. We help them get licensed, and then we train them. We explain and teach them basically everything they need to know to get rolling. They can do it remote. They can do it part-time. They can do it anywhere in the country. And then our team helps provide access to all the carriers. We help to provide training and support, and then we help to provide service. So we want to make sure that someone comes on board, and let's say they write their cousin's home and auto insurance, and cousin calls, 3 months from now and says, hey, I had a claim or I had whatever. Our core team is here to provide that support. So it's a way to unencumber the agent. That way they can be focused on helping develop new business, but know that their clients are well taken care of. And so we've been having a lot of fun with it. We've brought on a lot of people. It's been growing leaps and bounds. And so, if you're looking for an opportunity to make some extra income in an industry, again, that everybody needs, everybody budgets for, we're not selling the latest, greatest, juice product, healthcare, weight loss, whatever, something that's pretty proven. We'd love an opportunity to talk to you. So I've got Brooke and Shelby on our onboarding team. And you can even go to our website and live chat with our team. So maybe you have questions or you're curious, or you want to know a little bit more. If you even go to insurancesideHustling.com, you can even live chat with our team right there.
Excellent. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, TampaBayInsurance.com. And any comment on the UFO discussion prior to the break?
Listen, I am firmly with Will. I am not a guy who believes in the little green men. I believe in God Almighty overall, and so that being said, and I also kind of curious on what you're saying, Brandon. I mean, look, just throw this out there. You just, a few days ago in the news, Russia's got some military base up in the Arctic that we had pictures of.
Yeah.
So there's normally an explanation, and it's probably not what you see on all the movies.
That's right.
So,
absolutely.
There you go, man. But keep the faith, everybody, and I hope you all have a great day.
All right, Doug. Thanks, man. All right, that's Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, TampaBayInsurance.com. In studio, Captain Will Smith, author, pilot, Falling from the Sky, and Thomas Younk on the line. We've got Cons helping Cons here, Thomas Younk as well. So I want to go back to Captain Will here. Tell us a little bit more about how you and Thomas work together and, helping folks, again, kind of coming out of prison. There's all these barriers. There's all this misinformation, and a lot of the folks, even before they went into prison, they didn't have a good education beforehand. Talk about what you guys, the good work that you guys are doing, to help people get back in to society.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that want to help the transition, but Thomas and I are very unique because we have served time. We understand what these guys went through or are going through right now, and we understand the obstacles that need to be overcome coming out. So what we're doing is we're taking our own personal experiences by being on state or being warehoused in a jail for 2 years and saying, hey, this is the path that you took to get here. Your best thinking got you exactly where you are today. Now we're going to help you change that. But we need help from the community. We can't do it by ourselves. I volunteer my time. Thomas volunteers his time. But the community needs to kind of chip in and volunteer and help as well. And Thomas spoke earlier about the housing thing is the biggest part. I mean, that's one of the essential things that we need is shelter and clothing and food. So a lot of these people that you see coming out that are homeless are probably coming out of a prison that never had those three essential things: shelter, or housing, and food and clothing. So with that said, if we get involved more and we stop focusing our attention on maybe people that shouldn't be here and start focusing our attention on the people that are here, and we start cleaning up the mess in our own backyard before we start going and try to clean up somebody's mess in their backyard, maybe as human beings in a society, we can help each other get a little bit further in life. And a lot of these guys are, a product of their environment. That's what caused them to take the path that they took in life. But there's help now. And we as a society, we as human beings, we as Americans need to help our own and move forward. And it starts right here in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So what specifically are they needing? So they're coming out, but they just can't find an apartment to rent or a house to buy?
And I'll let Thomas talk about that a little bit.
Thomas.
Well, that's exactly right, especially due to the moratorium on evictions right now. There's nothing opening up. So it used to be we had a really nice system that, guys would come out, or women would come out, we'd get them into a housing situation, we'd get them a job the next day, get them on their feet, and they'd get out, and they'd go get their own place. And then we'd start the cycle again. We'd reuse that rental home. Well, there aren't any rental homes available right now, because of the moratorium. So that's our sticking point right now. We got people coming out, we have nowhere to put them. So fortunately, we are able to put a few people into, like the Salvation Army and the Goodwill. And I've got some friends, actually, who have taken some people in. But that doesn't nearly address the number of people that need help.
Let's talk later today, again, off air. I want to discuss this because I think there's some really unique strategies here that we can employ. And, I've got lots of listings. I've got about 40 listings throughout Tampa Bay, all different types, but specifically potentially some of our vacant land listings potentially to partner up and we'll talk off air because I don't want to give away all my tips and tricks here, but I think we've got some solutions for that that could potentially help. And if you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host. We're talking with Captain Will Smith on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as Thomas Younk. Cons Helping Cons is his nonprofit. And Thomas, give us a little background again in case some folks haven't heard you on the show before. But I love the fact about how your recidivism rate is working and it's helping folks acclimate back into society.
Well, the key is when somebody is trying to reacclimate into society, of course they need a place to live and of course they need a job. But a very, very important part of that is also being a mentor to them, because you heard Will use the term their best thinking got them to where they're at. And a lot of people come out of prison and they've still got that criminal mindset. That's my term that I always use. They use a criminal way of thinking. So, for example, if they're having a bad day, they think, well, man, I'm just going to go over there and rob that C store and I'll be okay for a little while again. And what they need is somebody like me who's been in their shoes to say, no, bro, that's not the right way to go.
Yeah.
And so I talk to all of the people I'm helping at least once a week. In the very beginning, I talk to them every day.
Yeah.
But then it starts to wane to once a week, then once a month. And even the guys that I helped 8 years ago, I still talk to them maybe 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
But they've gotten to the point now where they know if they're having a problem trying to figure something out, they come to me. And they run the idea past me, and I'll help them figure it out in a way that's constructive to them and to society. Because that's my goal. I want my people to turn out to be tax-paying, contributing citizens. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's such an important part. And it reminds me of a 2005 study. I've got, little flashcards in my studio here when I look at certain things and it becomes topical. But, talk about the mindset of people and just in general, this is just a general article that was done in 2005, National Scientific Foundation article. It says the average person has between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts per day. And 80% of those thoughts are negative, and 95% of those thoughts are the same as the day before. So think about that. So overwhelming majority is negative thoughts, and about 95% of that, the thoughts that we do have on a daily basis are the same thing that we've already thought the day before, just a different version of it. Hey, what's for lunch today? Or, what route am I going to take when I'm driving home? So I think a really key part of this is of changing people's mindset and changing behaviors is getting new voices, finding something new to read or to listen to, and especially with podcasts and videos available all over the place, creating a situation where we're bringing in new information into our body, into our minds, and a lot of it religious. I know we've talked before about how important prayer is in your life and throughout the day, reaching out to the Creator. But I think that's a key point because, the statistics, again, 80% negative thoughts, 95% the same as the day before, and don't focus on the negativity that the mainstream media is trying to push down our throats every single day.
Right. Matter of fact, I tell the guys, don't bother listening to the news.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't bother listening to it, right? Unless you're involved in some capacity. I'm thinking about running for either school board or county commissioner or something like that, state house rep. And I keep up to it just because it's kind of like my new football, baseball, basketball thing. I'm kind of into it. I like to listen to it and see what's going on. And a lot of it's ridiculous these days, of course, with the gender, the war on gender and just the war on whiteness with Coca-Cola and just all this divisive stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's a negative thing. And unless you're already fortified as a person, which I believe I am, then I can take on a little bit of that extra negativity and listen to it and try to sort through it and figure out how it's going to relate to my life and to, people that I can try to change in a good way, be a force for good in the community. We got to take a quick break here. Captain Will Smith in studio, Thomas Younk on the line, and our feel-good story of the day coming up. Every day we tell you something positive here, a feel-good story, something to kind of lighten up the mood sometimes. This one's interesting because a couple adopts 7 siblings whose parents died in a car crash. So obviously a horrible story, but it ends on a good note because this couple is adopting 7 siblings whose parents died in a car crash. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterbacks Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here with your real estate market update. Owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty with your Pasco County residential listings update on the market. Got the latest data here from the multiple listings service, the Mid-Florida Regional MLS. Okay, inventory is low as we know, but it actually dropped again in February. In January, we have 1,202 properties, and in February 2021, we're down to 1,043 properties available for sale in Pasco County. Now, come on down and you look at the properties that have sold. Those numbers are up. 976 properties in January sold compared to 1,046 in February that sold in all of Pasco County residential sales. So if you divide the solds by the listed, that's 102%, absorption rate, and a 1-month supply of inventory. Strong seller's market, great opportunity. And I've got lots of vacant land also if you're looking to build. We have some opportunities there for vacant land throughout the area, Tampa Bay area. 813-750-0700. 813-750-0550. Please call or text our hotline, 813-750-0550. And also consumerqb.com is our radio and TV show info, consumerqb.com, or platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see our listings there and also reach out through the website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Brandon Rhymes here. Thanks so much. We greatly appreciate your support. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, we're back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Got some hot properties here. I got a bar for sale, by the way. If anybody wanted to own a bar, have you ever thought, hey, this would be cool, like a nightclub / bar, corner lot. This is 5402 U.S. Highway 92 in Plant City, which is really just the outskirts of Tampa, right here close to Tampa Bay. 5402 U.S. Highway 92. We got a bar for sale. This is a great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Jonathan can put pictures up of the property too, I believe. But what we've got is it's a corner lot. You've got pool tables, the whole nine in there, cash cow opportunity, 5402 U.S. Highway 92. Got somebody looking at it right now, so act fast on this one. See all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so a couple adopt 7 siblings whose parents died in a car crash. This is out of California. This couple adopted ages 1 through 12 when their parents died in a car accident. And then 2 months later, Pam and Gary were matched with Adelino, 15, Ruby, 13, Alicia, who is 9, Anthony, 8, Aubriella, 7, Leo, 5, and Alexander, 4. So it was easy to connect with the little ones. They were just craving permanency, says Pam, the mother. And then the older, or the new mother, the older two were a little bit trickier. I think it was quite more about trust with them and making sure it was going to be real. And here's a heart-wrenching quote. It says, one night, the then 7-year-old came into our room, Pam recalled. I asked her, did you have a bad dream? And she replied, no, I just wanted to make sure that you were still here. So they're looking for that permanency, and that's what you see as my wife and I are looking at fostering children. We've been taking the classes, and such a sad part of our human experience especially when you have divorce, you have drugs involved, you have crime involved in some cases. But that's what we've been learning a lot about is, how to co-parent with some of these folks and trying to ultimately, when you do foster, the goal is to get the kids back into their permanent home if that is a safe and viable home. But wow. What a cool story, taking on 7 siblings. That's quite a feat there. Captain Will.
Yeah, I raised 2 boys, and I can't imagine doing 7 of them.
Yeah, 7 at one time. I mean, that's going to be tough. All right, so we got Captain Will Smith in studio, also Thomas Younk on the line, Cons helping cons. Captain, back to you. What do you think we should mention here? I mean, getting community involved. We got a lot of people listening, thousands of listeners every day on this show. What can they do? How can they reach out? Could they volunteer? Of course, money, donations. How can we help Cons helping cons?
Yeah, the biggest thing right now is the donations, getting the property and getting some, like I said, some shelter for these guys. Thomas knows just as well as I do on what's going on right now, and now's the time to get together as a community. I mean, we're just talking about making movies in the Tampa Bay area, bringing the community together. Well, part of bringing the community together, the whole movie is about awareness, and it has to do with prison and getting out of prison. Right. And what are we going to do? And how are we going to help people? How are we going to, as a community, get involved in helping out the people that are struggling right now? Because we can't just go through life thinking about ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to think about the people around us and who we're going to help. And if people want to get involved, they can call me. They can go to CaptainWillSmith.com. They can get in touch with Cons Helping Cons with Thomas. They can get in touch with you. So there's plenty of places that they can, or people they can reach out to and get involved, because we do work with 501c3s in the community outside of what we're doing. And we've got a lot of really, I mean, today I think we had almost 30 people involved from state levels, from the Department of Corrections to people helping out people with mental problems, which a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the states out there, they will take the people that have a mental disability and use the prison system to treat them. And when they get out, and when they get out, they have nowhere to go. And that's just a scratch of the surface. So whoever is out there listening, you want to get involved and help, let's get involved and help our community.
Let me give out the hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline. Also submit an email at consumerqb.com. The email form will come directly to myself and my team, consumerqb.com. Thomas, same question to you. Involvement.
Well, actually, it's just Will nailed it. You know, what we need right now is we need some help with some land or with homes. We've got everything else covered. We have no problem getting people jobs. There's so many job opportunities right now that I'm amazed and I'm happy. And we've got, part of our requirement to be a mentor for people coming out of prisons that you have to have been in their shoes at one time. So we've got the mentors covered, because everybody actually that goes through our program asks if they can become a mentor when they're back on their feet. That's just how well the program works.
Wow.
So really what we need is just help with housing.
Help with housing. That's the main number one thing.
Number one thing is housing. Got to have a place to put your head.
Yeah. So we got to talk to some of the commissioners up there and see what we can come up with, figure out a game plan on that. And it seems like, it's a challenge, but we can figure it out. That's something we'll have to figure out.
That's part of being a community.
Thomas, talk about the role of religion, especially with some of these guys. They're down and out. They don't have a support system. They don't have a family system, but they know that there's a creator out there that created them in his own image, and he loves them and he cares for them, and he's a forgiving God.
Well, I'll tell you, that was the turning point for me. When I went into prison, I thought I was God. That's the way I'd lived my life until that point.
Yeah.
And there were some things that went on, and that was part of being an entrepreneur. You think you have all this power. You think all the success is due to your own doing.
Yep.
So you tend to bring on this what I call the Jehovah complex. You think you're God.
Yep.
And then things happen to you and you get knocked down off your base a little bit. Then you start reading the Bible, and then suddenly one day it'll dawn on you that, I am not God. There is a God, and it's not me. And I'll tell you, once that happened, it changed my life. Because then I didn't start taking all that personal responsibility for everything that was happening, either good or bad. It took all that weight off my shoulders. And we know that our God's a sovereign God and that he will do things the way he wants to do. So you just have to roll with the punches. You have to believe in him. It's all about faith. And that's what I've discovered with the guys and the women, that once they have faith that there's somebody else directing the ship, that's when things start turning out. Will be able to relate to this. I always tell people, when they tell me that God is their co-pilot, I tell them you're in the wrong seats.
Yep.
Yeah.
God is the pilot.
Yep.
You're the co-pilot. So and for somebody who doesn't have the faith, it's really hard to explain because it's such an ephemeral thing. But once you know, and you know in your heart of hearts that there is a God, things just turn out better. And it's hard to explain. It's a faith thing.
Yeah, I get it. And they also have to raise their own self-esteem. They've got to figure out, hey, I was down. I went to prison. I rehabbed myself. I came back out. And now they've got to start raising their self-esteem, which is basically your reputation with yourself, which is sometimes too many people look external for that. We got to really look internal and continue to improve your skills. That's what the number one thing. Improve your skills. Get more of these skills that are wanted in the community today.
Right. And actually, part of the verse I always use with the guys right off the bat and the women, Romans 8:28, and I think because that gives us so much hope. That Romans 8:28 says everything that happens works out to the good for those who believe in God. And so, hey, okay, you've been down the trail of dependency and drugs, and you've stolen, and you've done this, and you've done that wrong. You've been an adulterer. It all is for a reason, and it's to make you who you are now.
That's right.
People say to me, do you regret any part of your life? Not at all, because I am right where I am right now because of all those events.
Right. Yeah, and there's so many stories of that in the Bible and how it happened, and it this sold into slavery by his brothers. I mean, all these different stories that you've heard. But all right, we got to.
And God will work with everybody. Look what He did with Moses. Moses was a murderer. David was an adulterer. I mean,
that's right.
God works with everybody. God
That's
is
right.
a forgiving God.
All right. Well, hey, great stuff. Thomas Younk, Cons, Helping Cons, free to serve on Facebook. Captain Will Smith as well. Thanks again for coming in. CaptainWillSmith.com. Doug Levi was on the show earlier. And as we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community and do something positive today. Go out there and be a force for good in the community. Get involved. Donate some blood. Donate some time. And if you have the resources, of course, donate money. Cons Helping Cons doing a great job here in the Tampa Bay area. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.